Good evening and welcome to Woodsboro Bank Arena here on the campus of Hood College in Frederick, Maryland. The Frederick Flying Cows are set to host the San Diego Sharks in 94-50 league action. I'm Jeff Goyne alongside Finn Hines tonight. No Tim, but it's great to have you with us tonight for the first ever meeting between these two teams. And Finn, right off the bat, a couple of things stand out. San Diego, this is just their second game of the season. They've only played once, and now they're going to play 3 in 3 days beginning tonight.
Yeah, and that's a real challenge this early in the year. You're still figuring out rotations, building chemistry, and now you're immediately tested with 3 straight games all the way across the country. So tonight, a lot of this is about how San Diego manages pace, minutes, and overall their game control.
And that opener for San Diego came against Capital out west, 121-91, a loss for the Sharks. But when you look at it, there were some encouraging signs.
There really were. A few guys were able to produce in that first game, especially Evan Shepard, who led the Sharks with 14 points. Quad Gredick also had 13 points and 8 assists. Josier Vega added 12, and Javon Nutter chipped in 9 points. Well, as a team, they also shot the ball extremely well. Over 46% from the field, 50% from 3, and 80% from the line. The issue was defensively. They gave up nearly 121 points on nearly 58% shooting.
So just one game, they're still trying to find their stride a bit.
Exactly. There's some shot making, some playmaking, especially with Gredick. But now it's about whether they can defend and rebound consistently, especially with the schedule that they're facing this weekend.
Well, and for Frederick, they're coming off a tight one, 83-81 at Baltimore, their second straight loss to the Rhythm. And that really could have gone either way.
It really could have. There was a back-and-forth game all night, 16 ties, 18 lead changes. And Frederick actually shot better from the field, but the game came down to turnovers and free throws. Baltimore got 22 points off turnovers and went 27 for 30 from the line, including 2 free throws that came off of a turnover, which gave them the lead with 5 seconds to go and proved to be the difference in the end.
Once again, we did see multiple players step up for Frederick, though.
Yeah, and that's really been the theme. In that game, Quentin Scott had 20 points. Javon Adams added 19 and 7 rebounds. Alani Moore finished with 17. And they've really got balance, which makes them extremely tough to guard.
And zooming out a little bit, that's really how the Cows are built.
It is. You look at the season numbers. Scott over 24 points a game, almost 25. And Adams nearly 20 points and about 10 rebounds. Moore, Thomas, Traore, all contributing. They've got multiple scoring options and extremely strong front court. And as a team, they've been scoring in the mid-90s, triple digits, not including the Baltimore games, and rebounding extremely well, which gives them a real advantage, especially here at home.
And skipping ahead, so when you put it all together, the first meeting between these two teams, Frederick has their sea legs a little bit. They've played 4 games compared to just 1, and you have San Diego having to navigate 3 games in 3 days. Tempo could be a factor early.
No question at all. Frederick wants to push it. They want to use their depth, and they really want to tire out the Sharks. San Diego, you'd think, wants to control the pace, limit possessions, and make this more of a half-court game to conserve their legs and keep their starters in for as long as possible.
Well, we're all set here in Frederick. We're going to step away for a moment for the national anthem, and then we'll be back with your starting lineups and tip-off.
Democracy Valley, the Habitat for Humanity Restore, and Sleep in Heavenly Peace, while also assisting with Frederick Community College basketball and the Frederick County Science and Engineering Fair. You'll also recognize him right here as the Flying Cows official scorekeeper, and he's a familiar face in our basketball camps and practices. His dedication and service continue to make a lasting impact across our community. By your applause, please join us in congratulating Barry Carnstone, tonight's Flying Cows Community MVP. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Here to perform his rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome to center court, Preston Thomas.
by the dawn's early light. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Preston Thomas. Thank you so much for your patriotism and thank you for standing up for America. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to introduce our third official.
Well, that was Preston Thomas with his rendition of the national anthem. We also had Alani Moore while Finn and I were doing the pregame. He gave the pregame welcome. The Cows always have a player do that. Always a good gesture to welcome the fans and have the players tell how much they appreciate their attendance and support. But we're about to get to the starting lineups. And first, it'll be San Diego, the visitors, the Sharks. They come into this one 0-1. We talked about it, a 121-91 loss a week ago. And they're going to go with number 0, Javon Nutter, who's a 6'6" small forward. He is from San Diego, California, and played collegiately at Imperial Valley. Jacob Colton, another San Diego native, who played at Cuyamaca College, a 2-year school. He's a 6'6" power forward. Number 11, Evan Shefford, the 6'4" small forward from Chula Vista, California, played at 2-year school, Grossmont College. Julio Guidi from San Diego, played D2 at Montevallo. He's a 6'8" power forward. Qua Gredick from Philadelphia, played at Rust College, a 5'11" point guard. And so that's your starting 5 for the Sharks. They're coached by Brandon Cheeks. His assistant coach is Jeremiah Ryden. And before we get the Cow starters, the junior captain will run out. Don't be alarmed that they've added maybe a second or third grader to the roster. They just always have a young fan come out and get to join the team in the warm-ups, and you see a lot of probably the junior Flyers friends and classmates out there with the Cows for starting lineups. But we've got a 5'10" shooting guard or point guard. He's a shooting guard on the roster, but he's the primary lead guard so far. Number 2, Alani Moore. We've also got number 7, the high scorer for the Cows, over 20 points a game at 6'7", Quentin Scott, who played at Tulane and Texas State. Number 8, Zach Thomas, the local product from Iamsville by way of Bucknell, 6'7". Number 15, Mustafa Traore, a 6'8" power forward from Philadelphia. And number 35, the league's co-MVP last year when the Cows were in the TBL, from Reading at 6'10", Javon Adams. Dan Preet in his first year coaching the Flying Cows, and he is assisted by Eric Graves and Sam Nunez.
Yeah, and before tip-off, I feel like especially with the Sharks, something to bring up, despite the fact that they let up 121 in that first game. They flew across the country, played a Capital team that has been extraordinary the past few years. So largely, we don't exactly know what to expect from them. We don't know if that was a fluke performance, if that was just them jet lag going against a great team. But overall, this is a completely new San Diego team we're watching. They've had their first game together. They didn't have the exhibition that the Cows had. And overall, San Diego, we don't exactly know what to expect from them.
That's for sure, but one thing we know is that the sponsor of tonight's game, we want to recognize our friends at Thrivent Financial. Thrivent is a mission-driven financial services organization dedicated to helping people in our community achieve financial clarity and live generously. Whether you're planning for retirement, protecting your family, or looking to make a lasting impact, Thrivent's team of trusted advisors is here to help. They're proud to be presenting sponsor of the Flying Cows tonight and a valued partner in our community. When it's time to take control of your financial future, remember Thrivent Financial. Cows come out in their camo unis. They win the tip. San Diego didn't see him coming. Thomas lets it fly well short.
And that shot looked rather tipped, or he just got knocked down there. But overall, Thomas, he has been a great three-point shooter for the Cows all season. That's really been his specialty on the offensive side of the ball. But on the defensive side of the ball, he's been racking up some blocks. I think he's top 5 in the 94-50 league in blocks per game so far.
Just 3 to shoot. The Sharks, it's Colton, no good. Scott clears the glass. Here comes Moore. Scott and Thomas play catch. Thomas lets it fly again off to the right.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of those misses from Thomas. Usually when he's left open, uncontested like that, he's able to drain them.
Colton working against Thomas, stolen by Moore. He'll jog it up. Waiting for teammates. It was 1-on-3. Nobody picked him up. He'll knock that one down. That's the opening score of the night. Cows up 3-0. 10.5 minutes to go here in the first.
Yeah, you can't leave Moore open like that. He's going to knock that shot down every time. Not even a contest from the Sharks there.
Yeah, he came down on the break, and as the Sharks tried to shuffle and get back, they lost track of him after he gave up the ball. Another miss for San Diego. Mustafa with the rebound. He's looking to go quick. Scott lets it fly. No good.
Yeah, Scott's really, he's been eating in the mid-range this year. When you watch the Cows games, he's been able to really drive, make his way to the mid-range, drain those shots. He's definitely been making threes, but not as consistently as he might like.
Shepard off the mark there. Here comes Quentin Scott. And we have seen the Cows looking to sort of controlled transition when they get a rebound. If they can push it, they've looked to do that here in the early going. Quick sub for San Diego, a new player. Bonner Johnson from Lakewood, California, but he most recently played at Division II Lincoln, an HBCU outside of Philadelphia. Quentin Scott gives it up to Mustafa. Moore, the floater. The roll, it's good. So it's Alani Moore, 5, everyone else 0.
Yeah, Moore is really getting this Cows team started off. You've seen it in a lot of their games, especially at home. They'll have one player in that first quarter who really just kicks off the scoring and does a great job for them.
Long 2, Shepard gets San Diego on the scoreboard. It'll be 5-2. We're just about 3 minutes into the action here. 94-50 league, Woodsboro Bank Arena. Traore has his pocket pick. That was Johnson. He goes flying in for the easy layup. And it's a 1-point game.
Yeah, fresh legs for Johnson there. It's always great once you get off the bench just to immediately get that steal, get that fast break. Really breaks the nerves for him coming off.
And he's making his Sharks debut along with Tracy Dymuth and Josh Harrison. Another turnover here for the Cows. And it will be Gredick going in for the transition bucket. So Cows went up 5-0, now 6 straight points, all of the 2-point field goal variety for San Diego.
Yeah, those turnovers that hurt the Cows against the Rhythm on Tuesday, you're kind of seeing them at least early on. Those last 4 points have all been off the fast break. They've been really wide open layups for San Diego, and you just can't give them those opportunities at this level of basketball. They're going to make them every time.
We almost had another one, but going for the steal, Shepard tried to go through Traore and commits the foul. Sub for the Cows, Makai Grant into the game.
You got to love Makai, man. Anyone who's seen him in person, he's a very energetic, just high energy. He asked for your Three Musketeers right before the broadcast. Think you could give it to him?
I did not, because I don't want him coming down with a stomach cramp and Coach Preet coming down here to fire me in the middle of the game. Or Chris Jenkins coming down here to take the headset off me. 6-5, 4 minutes into this one. San Diego on top. Three ball from Johnson, no good. They get the offensive rebound. And that was a little bit of an issue against New York in the last home game. A lot of offensive rebounds for New York in that one, the Phoenix.
It's really been an issue all year. You look at that Reading game, both Baltimore games. The Cows, when it comes to getting defensive boards, they're just not positioned right, really not able to box out and stop that. And these second chance points, they've killed them all year.
Well, heading to the line, Shepard. He knocks down the first, and we probably won't go through a lot of stats for San Diego because they just have the one game. It's not much of an indicator. It's not apples to apples if we're comparing their stats to the Cows, who are maybe, 10% of the way through the season or so.
Yeah, and
Probably
especially with a blowout loss, you can't exactly trust the offensive stats too much, where you don't know when they started making those shots. And even if it was before, even if it was a game where they pulled away late, I haven't exactly paid attention to the play-by-play on that too much. But overall, it looks like the Sharks, they're a real good offensive team, and they've showed that here. They haven't been able to hit the three this game, but they've been really able to drive in, get those mid-range, that layup sorted out, and be able to rack up some free throws as well.
That one off the mark by Johnson, rebounded by Javon Adams. Quentin Scott. Makai Grant stripped, gets it back, and lays it in. Makai averaging 5.5 points per game off the bench so far. That one out of bounds off of the Cows. Zion Smith started the last home game against New York, but has mostly come off the bench for the Cows. He checks in.
Yeah, Zion Smith, he's been, at the start of the season, he was that 6th to 8th man for the Cows, who's getting consistent minutes while still being a contributing player on the team. But recently, they've been putting him in the starting lineup, and he's looked real nice out there.
Adams passes it to the corner to Zion. That one, turnover for the Cows.
Turnovers, man. They've been killing the Cows these last two games.
That one laid in by Frederick. And it's 10-7. It's a 10-2 run for San Diego. Looking to break it. It's Zion Smith.
What a
he
shot
ties it
there
up.
by Smith.
Just a 27% three-point shooter so far, but he has had games where he's knocked him down. He's just here in the early part of the season, maybe had one or two cold games, and that drags the percentage down.
With the Cows, they're a team full of athletes. If you look at them, they could play any position on the court. You look at Javon Adams, he could honestly be anywhere from a 3 to a 5. And that really shows you can't give him any open looks. Anyone on that team, if you give them an open 3, they have at least somewhat of a chance of making it, which makes them an extremely scary team to play.
Well, we've got a timeout on the floor, and we're going to take it with the teams. 10-10 at the halfway mark of the first period, Cows and Sharks.
Where should we start first?
Summon the power.
This is not just cheese, or butter, or whipped cream, or even dairy-free shreds. It's every food's BFF. It's what takes mac and cheese over the top, makes a burger cha-ching, and your veggies sing. This is not just our portfolio. It's why we get out of bed. Comfort on a plate in every language. What smiles are made of. This is not just a logo. It's us showing up, bringing our A game, playing for fun, playing to win. This is not just an apron. This is us giving our all and then some for each other, our neighbors, our partners, our planet. This isn't just a dairy processing plant. This is where the magic happens, where nature becomes nurture, and we carefully tend to our resources. And we are not just a company. We are can-doers and pursuers of better, bringing delight to omnivores, flexitarians, and vegetarians everywhere. More than that, we are a promise, a way of life, family, home. Saputo. Together, we bring good to the table.
Hi, I'm Dr. Amir Rashidian, a chiropractor, a fellow with the American Institute of Stress. With not just one, but 2 convenient locations and a team of highly specialized doctors, our team at Mid-Atlantic Chiropractic Centers is equipped with the knowledge and expertise to address a wide range of conditions, whether it's chronic back pain, neck pain, headaches, or stress-related ailments.
Mid-Atlantic Chiropractic Centers, where compassion meets expertise and your well-being comes first. Call us today and start your journey to a pain-free, stress-free life.
And we're back at Woodsboro Bank Arena here on the campus of Hood College. Frederick and San Diego. Or is it San Diego?
I like San Diego more, but I think it might be San Diego.
Quentin Scott misses.
And with the Sharks coming on offense here, we're sitting next to their bench doing the broadcast, and you're able to see a lot of the stuff that goes on in the huddle. And based off how this game's been going so far, they're looking to really attack the inside. They haven't been able to make their threes so far this game, despite that 50% shooting in that first game. And the Cows, they've struggled on that interior defense all game.
We had a foul there on Zion Smith. He and Mustafa Traore went after the ball. The first on Zion, and checking in another one of those new players, Joshua Harrison from Las Cruces, New Mexico, and he played in the NAIA at Westcliff University. Got a whistle? So that's going to go on Alani Moore. Moore, his first.
And it might be okay in the first, but with the Cows, they slowly rack up these fouls, which leads to free throws. And especially in that last game against Baltimore, where free throws ended up being the reason, or in my opinion, the main reason why they lost that game. You just need to learn to discipline yourselves, or even prevent them from getting in situations where they can bait those fouls and make you foul instead of kind of giving you the option of fouling.
Another turnover, but luckily for the Cows, San Diego tried to get a little too fancy on the break, and they'll have to slow it down. Coach Preet arguing that should have been a travel or an up and down there, but ultimately what happens is Claude Gredick, the Philadelphia native, gets into the paint. 12-10, Sharks back in front. Moore gets it to Grant, 6 to shoot. Fade away, too strong. The pull-up off the window, nice move.
These layups have been great for the Sharks. I bet if you compare their percentages from their actual jump shots to when even if they're not even in the paint, if they're doing those layup sort of shots, they've been able to consistently drain them. And that's seemed to be their game plan after that media timeout, and it's worked extremely well.
Goaltend there on San Diego. Alani Moore let a floater up. We'll get the replay on that. Here you see Moore go to his left, and just a little too late getting there was Gwitty. Another San Diego native. A lot of San Diego guys if you go down their roster, which San Diego is one of the largest cities in not only California but in the United States. They have a major pro team in several of the top-level leagues. That one off the mark.
Yeah, San Diego, they get that homegrown talent. It's something, well, we get some Frederick kids, but, we don't have that much of a pool to pull from.
We get some local-ish guys because the DMV is so talent-rich, but, yeah, we don't get guys from necessarily exactly Frederick.
Yeah, it's like we have Zach and Garrison. They're the two big ones from the area. But other than that, a lot of the talent is from the DMV, and it's great to see those local-ish guys coming in, performing for us, performing around their hometown.
Miles Roper, depending how far you want to extend the DMV, he's from Charlestown. And Mekhi Grant just drops that one in.
Yeah, Alani and Mekhi have really led this Cows offense through the first quarter. Alani's been hot through the first quarter. You look throughout the season in the Phoenix game, he had 13 in the first. He's a real first quarter performer. Not saying he doesn't perform for the rest of the game, but in this scenario, he's really able to kickstart the Cows and really light a fire under them.
So that's going to be the second on Grant. That's been a bugaboo for Mekhi, and probably the reason he doesn't get a few more minutes is he gets a little too aggressive on defense and does commit some fouls. Right on cue, here comes Mustafa
right
Traore, and Mekhi will head back to the bench. And that wasn't a sub they were going to make. They decided to send Mustafa down to the table when they saw that go up on the board.
Yeah, Traore coming in these last two games, he's been starting kind of in a place for Javon. He has been I think he started all 4 games so far. But in these last 2, he's been forced to take that center role as the Cows develop the more small ball-focused offense.
Well, in years past, the Cows have been probably the biggest team in the league. And this year, they can't say that. They have a much smaller roster. Lob! No good. Nutter. Good job to just come down with it. That Euro step off the baseline by Harrison. No good, but they come away with a turnover. And into the paint is Gredick. The roll.
That's just a poor turnover by the Cows there. It's completely unforced. You didn't have to. He was already in the backcourt. He was just trying to throw it up. Didn't see the San Diego guy there.
Well, and that's 6 turnovers now for Frederick here in the first quarter, and almost a 7th as Javon Adams almost had the ball taken away. Here comes Denmark Slay and Quentin Scott back into the game. Moore and Adams will head to the bench. It'll be Slay, Scott, Roper, Traore, and Thomas.
Yeah, with Slay, he's one of those, in my opinion, like lost breed of ballers. He sits in the mid-range. He loves the mid-range. If you watch almost all the points he's scoring, it's beyond the free throw line, but not quite a 3. I don't think I've seen him make a 3 all year. But when he's in that mid-range, he knows what he's doing.
For sure, and the coaching staffs over the years have talked about what a smart player he is, and he's like an extra assistant coach. Quentin Scott hit a 3 on the last trip for Frederick to give the Cows the 17-16 lead, get them back in front. And a foul on Zach Thomas. So another foul on the Cows that'll put San Diego at the line with under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that's 0 for 7 from threes by the Sharks. And coming in, they're shooting 50% from 3. I thought they would be an automatic team, one that where you really try to take like a 3-2 zone approach, prevent that 3. But now looking at it, the Cows have been able to contest it. They have been able to get a hand in the face. In San Diego, they've not been able to hit those long balls yet.
Well, and I didn't have a chance to look at the numbers against Baltimore earlier this week, but I know in the first 3 games, one thing Frederick did well was slow down teams' perimeter shooting, and it looks like they're off to the same kind of start tonight here with that 0 for 7. I think against New York, it was 4 for 28 from 3.
Yeah, Frederick's been amazing on the defensive 3 ball this year. Even against Baltimore, I think Baltimore only shot 23%. I don't believe that they've had a team shoot over 30% from 3, and 30% is still considered relatively poor. They've really been able to close off this three ball, but that's also came at the cost of their interior defense. Those offensive rebounds that they've allowed, that it's really came at a cost there.
Skip pass. Quentin Scott thought about it. Slay has it tipped away, and that'll be a shot clock. So I think they're going to put maybe a second back on here.
Yeah, because San Diego, they never developed full possession, so that shot clock kept running, but it did go out. So it looks like they are going to give a second. They are going to give the Cows a quick tap and shoot opportunity.
And we'll see what Coach Preet and the Cows have drawn up. They trail 18-17. Slay, the turnaround, the three, too strong. And it is a shot clock violation.
Yeah, and especially in March with those type of shots, anything can go down. Did you see that Kentucky-Santa Clara game earlier today?
Unfortunately, Finn, I have a job and I could not watch it.
But it's awesome. It's March, man. Kentucky to tie it up at the end of regulation. They hit. It was almost a half-court shot. Banked it in. You don't know what to expect in March.
And especially this first weekend of the NCAA tournament, just some of the wildest games you'll ever see. That three ball by Trace Dimeth off the mark. And Quentin Scott.
Scott knows what he's doing in those fast breaks. You see it all season. You've seen it all season. You'll see it all season. In those fast breaks, he's not afraid to go airborne. He's not afraid to dunk the ball, no matter what goes in front of him.
He can score at every level, and you don't think of him as a high flyer, but he can dunk, and you don't think of him as a prolific three-point shooter, but he can knock down the three. He just will take whatever he's got on that possession, and that's how he's going to score.
He's just one of the guys on offense, really no super strengths, but at the same time, no real weaknesses. So you've got to guard him everywhere, or else he's going to make it.
Slay gets into the paint and draws the foul. He'll head to the free throw line. Denmark in his second year with the Cows. He's from Woodbridge, Virginia, and he played. He might have been pretty happy. He started his college career at High Point, and High Point pulled off the upset on day one.
Yeah, recently on our Cows podcast, Barnyard Banner, we filled out a March Madness bracket, and we got that upset right because we were pulling for Den on that. I can guarantee you he's going in this game with a smile on his face, knowing his college is going to the round of 32.
Knocks them both down there, and it's 21-18 now. Cows in front. 30 seconds left, so we got about a 7-second spread between the shot clock and the game clock. Had San Diego gone quick, they could have got the 2-for-1, but good defense on the ball by Slay, and they do force it up and down. That was Johnson.
Yeah, and with that play, some people would say it's an ankle breaker. Some people would say it's a great defensive play by Den, because even if he was going to the ground, he was able to snatch, get a hand to that ball, and really prevent a wide-open shot from San Diego.
15 seconds is what Frederick will have to get one last shot up as they try to extend that three-point lead. 5 seconds to get it to Thomas. He tries to pass it. It is swatted by Gwitty. And with a long three, Dimeth.
And the threes just aren't falling for San Diego in this first quarter. I think that's 0 for 8 or 0 for 9 there. They haven't been able to get going.
0 for 8. 0 for 8, that should be. And we have 21-18 at the end of the first here at Woodsboro Bank Arena. We'll take the break with the teams and be back with the second.
Let's face it, highways are boring. Leave the traffic behind. Let's face it, highways are boring. Leave the traffic behind and go for a drive on Maryland's scenic byways in Frederick County. They'll take you where you want to go and make the journey just as memorable. Every turn invites you to slow down and discover something new. From captivating history to irresistible flavors to vibrant downtowns. Plan your trip today and take the road that tells a story.
Flying cows stay cool under pressure. At Stoltz, we do too. We design and manufacture precision cooling solutions that keep data centers running. Everything from AI to data in the cloud, all around the world. Headquartered right here in Frederick, we have over 500 employees who make us proud to be called one of the best places to work. As a leader in the data center industry, we're growing fast, and we want you on our team. Join the Stoltz team today to be a part of something bigger. Scan the QR code to apply.
And we're back here at Woodsboro Bank Arena in Frederick, Maryland. After the first, the Cows trailed for much of the opening period, but they hold a 21-18 lead over visiting San Diego. The first of 3 straight days with games for the Sharks.
Yeah, and with San Diego, kind of the story of that first quarter was the 3-ball. They were just not able to get it down. 0 for 8. And if they can get it going like they were against Capital, this could be a completely different game. But so far, the Cows' defense has just forced poor shooting from them.
San Diego, they kick it to the corner. 3-ball from Johnson. Offensive rebound. They get sloppy with it, and it will be Cows basketball.
Yeah, and Shepard just kind of dropped that pass. That's just one of those unforced, just poor turnovers, where if he caught it, that's basically a wide open layup.
Scott Johnson comes way out on him. 3-ball, let it fly. Miles Roper, no good.
Yeah, and Roper coming onto the Cows, he's been an elite scorer in other leagues. Right before the Cows, he was playing in Malta. He was averaging 30 a game, so he knows how to score the ball, but so far this year, his shots just haven't been falling.
Thomas rejects that one. Slay's got Traore and Roper. It's Roper.
And that's that intelligent playmaking you talked about with Denmark earlier. Slay really just knows how to get the ball to his teammates, and in those fast break scenarios, it's hard to think as a point guard. And you can see his whole thought process going on there, watching the 2 guys cutting in, and it's almost exactly like a drill you do in practice.
Roper will head to the bench, and so will Slay. And it'll be Alani Moore running the point now. Garrison Linton making his first appearance. As we mentioned, basically every game, Linton played his college ball here in this gym for Hood College. Quentin Scott, let it fly.
And like we were talking about earlier as well, Scott, he can score on all 3 levels of the court, and he just can't leave him open like that. He's averaging 24, nearly 25 a game. You can't leave him open.
Shepard slipped there, but good control to regain his balance. Knock down the mid-range.
Yeah, and I think as long as San Diego stay in front of that 3-point line, their shots have a lot better chance of falling.
Quentin Scott, a heat check. It doesn't fall, but Alani Moore, second life. Garrison Linton, too strong. Out of bounds. San Diego basketball. Returning for the Sharks is Javon Nutter. Nutter was scoreless in the first period, did have a rebound. Here comes Javon Adams. Next time. I felt like they might have been going to let him in the game, but they didn't.
Javon can't wait to get in the game. He didn't play 2 games ago, had limited minutes last game, and I'm sure he's, especially after a loss, he wants to play. He wants to be a part of why this team wins.
Thomas disagrees with the call, but it's not going to change anything. It's a foul on him. That will be his second. It will send Nutter to the free throw line.
Yeah, Thomas, he's averaging almost 2 blocks a game. That would have gave him 2 right there. I'm sure it's not just foul he was mad about, but some players, they want to keep their averages up.
Adams back in, and it looks like he might be going to replace Thomas. And so they're going to reset this free throw here because of the subs. So Nutter now gets the ball. His team trailing by 6. It bounces out and Mustafa Traore ends up with it. Linton. Adams, the handoff and the screen. Moore, Traore.
That's just beautiful offense right there. It shows what you can do when you have 5 just pure athletes on the floor. They're just running around, hand the ball to each other. Just someone's going to get open eventually if you're not able to turn the ball over. And that's a beautiful possession there from the Cows.
3 ball from San Diego. It's good. And that was number 11, Evan Shepard.
Yeah, finally able to get one to go down. Now it'll really show if it was just kind of a cold streak at the start or if the Cows defensively are really that good with preventing teams from scoring the 3 ball.
Linton, Moore, wide open. Knocks it down. Moore now with 10, and it's an 8-point lead for Frederick.
Yeah, and sometimes you wonder with the Sharks leaving all these 3-pointers open, if the Cows are bringing in size to really force their defense to focus inward, to leave those 3-pointers open. And because, especially with Moore, Scott, Linton, they're going to hit them almost every time if you leave them open.
Adams ahead to Scott. They'll slow it down. Moore lets it fly. He knocks it down. Alani Moore saw a little bit of daylight.
That's what we call a heat check right there. Moore, he knows he's on fire right now. He knows he's making his shots. He has 13 on the day, and there's 8 minutes left in the second.
34-23 your score with 8 minutes left here in the second. And I thought they were going to do the shot from the balcony. Oh, they are going to make the moon shot, but it's in the dark.
They flipped it around a bit from what I've heard. They're having 1 shot from up on the balcony, and then they're doing 2 from the hallways, staircase areas. They want to give them a better chance of making it.
Okay, well, let's do this first one. We like to stay here for the moon shot.
Now I'm used to going short. That one went a bit long there.
My thought has generally been from up there, get some loft on it and bounce it. I think that's your best shot. I think trying to shoot down at something is pretty tough.
You got to swish it, or you got to swish it to get a perfect bank shot with that. But when you kind of try to bounce it off the ground, that's when you really get the leverage, and that's when you're able to really get it to where, like, if it does hit the rim, you do have a chance.
Yeah, you get a little bit more touch if you play that bounce. Well, one from right behind us.
Didn't have a chance.
Not really. We've seen one made.
When was that?
Last season we had one made.
So far this season, I don't even think we've had a basket hit so far.
The accuracy has not been reminiscent of the first weekend of March Madness.
It hasn't.
So, but we like to stay here for that in case one does go in, because everybody gets excited.
Sometimes I really wish they could drop the money on this side, find somewhere above us. I wouldn't mind getting a buck or two.
Tim, Noah, and I have talked about we got just one game set up over there so we can grab some of that cash when they drop it.
Yeah, we gotta.
Well, it's 34-23, 8 minutes to go. The story is Alani Moore so far, 5 for 5 shooting with 3 3-pointers. He's got 13 points.
Yeah, Alani, usually known as a more pass-first guard. He's leading the Cows in assists this year. But now he's proven he can be a heck of a scorer as well.
Off the mark there from Shepard. Zion Smith. A little bit of a hesitation, and he goes past his man for 2.
And Smith, he's really developed this year. Through those first few games, he started out a bit slow, a bit hesitant. But especially this game, he looks as confident as ever. He's taking shots. He's driving to the hoop. He's not afraid to shoot the ball, and he's not afraid to turn it over because he really hasn't that much this year.
Vega knocks that one down. It's a 10-point lead. Traore spins baseline. Fades. Short. But he'll get a whistle. He's a little slow getting up, so let's hope he's all right. Looks like he is. It's going to be on Colton.
And the Sharks, contrary to a bunch of the teams the Cows have been playing earlier in the year, they do have a bunch of size, or they don't have a bunch of size on them. The Cows, they're trying to take advantage of that because it's the first game really in a while where they've really been able to put some guys on the court and see, okay, we're bigger than them. We can out-rebound them. We can really dominate the paint if we want to.
So they, again, a little bit of housekeeping there before a free throw. We saw that a little earlier. Traore had to give the ball up, and he got it back. Spins out. 15 back in the game. That's Frederick. Frederick played in the Drew League and in the basketball tournament. Vega working against Moore. Halfway through the shot clock. They get it back to Vega. Long three, and he knocks that one down.
And Vega's really been the only one who's been able to consistently hit these threes for the Sharks.
Traore got the ball in the post and just spun around Colton for the two-handed jam. Fade away there from Frederick. Coach Cheeks wanted a foul, doesn't get it. Moore, heat check, no good. Smith had that one stripped, but it'll stay here as Gwitty returns for the Sharks.
Yeah, Gwitty, the big man for the Sharks. When you look at their roster, they don't have too much size. But you look at Gwitty, he's 6'8", 230. He's built like a tight end, I'd say. But
Adams down low.
He has some size on him. He's the guy that they want in the paint if they want to be able to control the paint, get the Cows away from that three-point line, open it up. He's the guy to do so.
And a foul on the floor. It's Moore. He's got 2 fouls. Makai Grant will check back in for the Cows. Johnson back in for San Diego. San Diego shooting just 37% so far, 57% for the Cows.
The Cows defensively, they've done a great job at preventing those shots from going in, lowering the field goal percentage. And right as I say that,
Vega saves the Sharks on that possession. They were down to 2 on the shot clock, and he knocks down another one.
I believe Vega right now is 3 for 4 from 3, while the rest of the Sharks, they're 1 for 12.
Zion Smith.
That's 8 points for Smith. I believe that's already a season high for him, and we're not even into the end of the first half yet.
He had 8 against Baltimore on the 13th in that first meeting here at Woodsboro Bank Arena. That shot blocked. Here come the Cows. Smith. That's the season high.
That's the season high right there. Smith is hot right now. He started the last 2. They put him on the bench. And then now he's gonna show them exactly why he deserves to continue starting for this stacked Cows roster.
Vega just had the hot hand, but not that time. 3 ball from the corner, no good. And we have a foul on the rebound. I think they're going to say Zion Smith pushed off. Got a little shove on Johnson. Zach Thomas back in.
Yeah, and Thomas, when he came out earlier in the second, that was on that second block he wasn't able to get. So I'm sure he's coming into this game with a little fire lit under him. He wants He wants to get a block. He wants to do good on defense. He wants to just really prove, not just to the refs, but to himself, that he really deserves every point, every block, everything that he thinks he gets.
Johnson, a nice little move in the paint. Thomas feeds it to the paint. Mekhi Grant. Moore. Forced to backtrack, finds Grant, the lefty three ball, no good. Rebounded by Shepard. He's looking to run. He'll take it himself. Euro step after Euro step, maybe one too many. Grant gets the rebound. Adams to Grant, and we have a travel.
In the Cows, they have one of their bigger rotations on the floor right now. A lot of times you'll see Thomas end up having to play the 4, but they have Adams and Mekhi there, so he's able to be in the 3 while still being a huge size presence for the Cows as well.
And Adams and Grant, not just tall, but they're long. So they play probably even bigger than their size, and they're both athletic, rangy forwards. Vega finally misses one. It'll be Mekhi Grant.
Yeah, that seemed like a little heat check right there. He was a few feet behind the line. And honestly, I can understand why he's going for that. He's made his last 3.
Adams finds Thomas on the baseline, lead back up to 15.
And the Cows being able to score on really all 3 levels of offense today, it's made it super difficult for the defense of San Diego, because especially with those zones, you usually target one aspect of scoring, but when they can make it everywhere, it's hard to target that on defense.
Smith hits another one. And the scoreboard has him at 11.
I think he's at 14 on the night.
Stats have him with 14. The scoreboard has him with 11. We'll probably find out at halftime which of those is correct.
He hasn't missed a shot yet today. 5 for 5 from the field, 4 for 4 from 3. Some people can't even do that in practice.
And Moore finally did miss 1 shot, but the 2 of them are now 10 for 11, including 7 of 8 from 3. So I think we can take this break. Actually, it might just be a 30. I don't see anybody sitting, so we'll hold it here for now.
Yeah, and the Cows this season have used the second and third quarter as a time to really pull away. Even in the Baltimore game on Tuesday where they ended up losing, they tied the first, took a small lead in the second, continued that in the third, and the fourth, they kind of fell apart a bit. But in that second and third is where you don't want to let them just slowly build on you, because that's when you don't even realize it. They go on these runs, and because it's not exactly a clutch time or not opening the game, they just kind of slowly build, and then before you even know it, it's a 15, 20-point game.
Well, and here in the second quarter, I know we pointed out 6 turnovers in the first for the Cows, just 2 here in the second period, as we've watched the Cows go from up 21-18 to 51-34, so it's a 30-16 spread here in the second.
Yeah, and the Cows have 29 compared to 22 in the first quarter, and there's still 2:40 to go. So their offense, without those turnovers, they've really been lighting it up.
Spin move there, and the layup too strong from Grenick. Adams. Skip pass, Moore saves it, lets it fly. No good. Thomas tracks it down. Threw the lob and it hit the rim, but Zion Smith steals it back. Zach Thomas lets it fly. Gets the roll, shooter's roll.
Mekhi, all season he's been looking for that lob. He's such an energetic, such a fun player to watch. I want to see him on a fast break, because I think it was against New York. They had this one fast break opportunity, but they ended up with a foul. It looked like he was going to do something crazy, and he's just an entertainer on the court as well as being an amazing basketball player.
That 3 from Shepard finds the bottom of the net. Shepard now with a dozen.
And the Cows, it looks like they forced San Diego into man defense, which, with how good they've been playing on offense, it's something that you really don't want to play.
Mekhi Grant working hard down low. He'll get rewarded with a trip to the free throw line. Cows 3 for 4 at the charity stripe so far in this one.
Yeah, that's on Guidi. He was a big defensive presence in a game that was lacking on defense for San Diego, where he ended up with 2 blocks and 9 rebounds on only 4 points. He's in that court to kind of be that enforcer role, that person to put in the paint and kind of scare the other team away from trying to drive in or go for a post up or a layup.
Grant, the 71% free throw shooter, gets the first. He's got 5 now. Denmark Slay ready to check back in. And one thing in the 94-50 league, after that second free throw, they don't let you sub in. So that is something a little different from certain other levels.
Yeah, I think it's to quicken the pace of the game a bit, especially in a league where the games, they're really not most highly televised. I get that you have some great broadcasters over here, but they want these games to kind of go by a bit quick.
Johnson, a lot of contact there. Smith into him with the body. It'll be the second on Zion Smith, and as you look up at the scoreboard, actually the third. So he's got 3. Alani Moore has 2, Zach Thomas has 2, and Makai Grant has 2. It might not be a lot of fouls overall, but it's the distribution of those fouls all on the same 4 guys. Johnson to the free throw line.
Yeah, with Adams, he's always been great at avoiding fouls, especially in the Baltimore game on Tuesday when a lot of the Cows were facing foul trouble. Thomas fouled out. Makai was on 5 the whole game. But Javon, he was able to kind of be that consistent guy you could always rely on, who's in the paint. He's not exactly the best paint defender, but at the same time, he knows how to avoid those fouls while still getting great contests.
Adams will bring it up in direct traffic. The lob. Makai Grant down low. Gets fouled as he went up for the dunk.
Yeah, Makai sensed the mismatch there. He had a guard on him, went for the post up, which is exactly what any coach would tell you to do. And in the end, he draws the fouls, what could have been an and one if he ended up hitting the dunk.
56-38 with a chance for more here for the Cows.
Yeah, I felt like just a few minutes ago when the Sharks were leading at the end of the first, it kind of looked like it was a game going both ways, but the Cows, since they haven't been able to force the turnovers on offense, they haven't been turning the ball over as much. They've just had a great job scoring, been doing great on that.
The Sharks back the other way. Vega couldn't find any room. He gives it up to Johnson. Johnson into his bag of tricks. That one off the mark.
Great defense there by Slay.
Adams. Skip pass to Linton. Thomas to Grant. Great ball movement here by the Cows, and they get rewarded with 2. 59-39 as we approach the end of the half here. We're under 10 seconds to play at Woodsboro Bank Arena. Down to 5. No sense of urgency here for Frederick. He'll just let a long 3 fly. You saw him go to the ground, but it was actually his teammate Guidi who got into him. So a little bit of a disjointed final possession for San Diego, and they're going to go into the locker room trailing 59-39 here at the half. We'll be back before the third period.
I'm Dr. Amir Rashidian, a chiropractor, a fellow with the American Institute of Stress, with not just 1, but 2 convenient locations and a team of highly specialized doctors. Our team at Mid-Atlantic Chiropractic Centers is equipped with the knowledge and expertise to address a wide range of conditions, whether it's chronic back pain, neck pain, headaches, or stress-related ailments.
Mid-Atlantic Chiropractic Centers, where compassion meets expertise and your well-being comes first. Call us today and start your journey to a pain-free, stress-free life.
This is not just cheese, or butter, or whipped cream, or even dairy-free shreds. It's every food's BFF. It's what takes mac and cheese over the top, makes a burger cha-ching, and your veggies sing. This is not just our portfolio. It's why we get out of bed. Comfort on a plate in every language. What smiles are made of. This is not just a logo. It's us showing up, bringing our A game, playing for fun, playing to win. This is not just an apron. This is us giving our all and then some for each other, our neighbors, our partners, our planet. This isn't just a dairy processing plant. This is where the magic happens, where nature becomes nurture, and we carefully tend to our resources. And we are not just a company. We are can-doers and pursuers of better, bringing delight to omnivores, flexitarians, and vegetarians everywhere. More than that, we are a promise, a way of life, family, home. Saputo. Together, we bring good to the table.
Where should we start first?
Summon the power.
Flying cows stay cool under pressure. At Stoltz, we do too. We design and manufacture precision cooling solutions that keep data centers running. Everything from AI to data in the cloud, all around the world. Headquartered right here in Frederick, we have over 500 employees who make us proud to be called one of the best places to work. As a leader in the data center industry, we're growing fast, and we want you on our team. Join the Stoltz team today to be a part of something bigger. Scan the QR code to apply.
Let's face it, highways are boring. Leave the traffic behind and go for a drive on Maryland's scenic byways in Frederick County. They'll take you where you want to go and make the journey just as memorable. Every turn invites you to slow down and discover something new. From captivating history to irresistible flavors to vibrant downtowns. Plan your trip today and take the road that tells a story.
I'm Dr. Amir Rashidian, a chiropractor, a fellow with the American Institute of Stress, with not just one, but 2 convenient locations and a team of highly specialized doctors. Our team at Mid-Atlantic Chiropractic Centers is equipped with the knowledge and expertise to address a wide range of conditions, whether it's chronic back pain, neck pain, headaches, or stress-related ailments.
Mid-Atlantic Chiropractic Centers, where compassion meets expertise and your well-being comes first. Call us today and start your journey to a pain-free, stress-free life.
This is not just cheese, or butter, or whipped cream, or even dairy-free shreds. It's every food's BFF. It's what takes mac and cheese over the top, makes a burger cha-ching, and your veggies sing. This is not just our portfolio. It's why we get out of bed. Comfort on a plate in every language. What smiles are made of. This is not just a logo. It's us showing up, bringing our A game, playing for fun, playing to win. This is not just an apron. This is us giving our all and then some for each other, our neighbors, our partners, our planet. This isn't just a dairy processing plant. This is where the magic happens, where nature becomes nurture, and we carefully tend to our resources. And we are not just a company. We are can-doers and pursuers of better, bringing delight to omnivores, flexitarians, and vegetarians everywhere. More than that, we are a promise, a way of life, family, home. Saputo. Together, we bring good to the table.
Where should we start first?
Summon the power.
Flying cows stay cool under pressure. At Stoltz, we do too. We design and manufacture precision cooling solutions that keep data centers running. Everything from AI to data in the cloud, all around the world. Headquartered right here in Frederick, we have over 500 employees who make us proud to be called one of the best places to work. As a leader in the data center industry, we're growing fast, and we want you on our team. Join the Stoltz team today to be a part of something bigger. Scan the QR code to apply.
Let's face it, highways are boring. Leave the traffic behind and go for a drive on Maryland's scenic byways in Frederick County. They'll take you where you want to go and make the journey just as memorable. Every turn invites you to slow down and discover something new. From captivating history to irresistible flavors to vibrant downtowns. Plan your trip today and take the road that tells a story.
I'm Dr. Amir Rashidian, a chiropractor, a fellow with the American Institute of Stress, with not just one, but 2 convenient locations and a team of highly specialized doctors. Our team at Mid-Atlantic Chiropractic Centers is equipped with the knowledge and expertise to address a wide range of conditions, whether it's chronic back pain, neck pain, headaches, or stress-related ailments.
Mid-Atlantic Chiropractic Centers, where compassion meets expertise and your well-being comes first. Call us today and start your journey to a pain-free, stress-free life.
This is not just cheese, or butter, or whipped cream, or even dairy-free shreds. It's every food's BFF. It's what takes mac and cheese over the top, makes a burger cha-ching, and your veggies sing. This is not just our portfolio. It's why we get out of bed. Comfort on a plate in every language. What smiles are made of. This is not just a logo. It's us showing up, bringing our A game, playing for fun, playing to win. This is not just an apron. This is us giving our all and then some for each other, our neighbors, our partners, our planet. This isn't just a dairy processing plant. This is where the magic happens, where nature becomes nurture, and we carefully tend to our resources. And we are not just a company. We are can-doers and pursuers of better, bringing delight to omnivores, flexitarians, and vegetarians everywhere. More than that, we are a promise, a way of life, family, home. Saputo. Together, we bring good to the table.
Where should we start first?
Summon the power.
Flying cows stay cool under pressure. At Stoltz, we do too. We design and manufacture precision cooling solutions that keep data centers running. Everything from AI to data in the cloud, all around the world. Headquartered right here in Frederick, we have over 500 employees who make us proud to be called one of the best places to work. As a leader in the data center industry, we're growing fast, and we want you on our team. Join the Stoltz team today to be a part of something bigger. Scan the QR code to apply.
Let's face it, highways are boring. Leave the traffic behind and go for a drive on Maryland's scenic byways in Frederick County. They'll take you where you want to go and make the journey just as memorable. Every turn invites you to slow down and discover something new. From captivating history to irresistible flavors to vibrant downtowns. Plan your trip today and take the road that tells a story.
This is not just cheese, or butter, or whipped cream, or even dairy-free shreds. It's every food's BFF. It's what takes mac and cheese over the top, makes a burger cha-ching, and your veggies sing. This is not just our portfolio. It's why we get out of bed. Comfort on a plate in every language. What smiles are made of. This is not just a logo. It's us showing up, bringing our A game, playing for fun, playing to win. This is not just an apron. This is us giving our all and then some for each other, our neighbors, our partners, our planet. This isn't just a dairy processing plant. This is where the magic happens, where nature becomes nurture, and we carefully tend to our resources. And we are not just a company. We are can-doers and pursuers of better, bringing delight to omnivores, flexitarians, and vegetarians everywhere. More than that, we are a promise, a way of life, family, home. Saputo. Together, we bring good to the table.
Where should we start first?
Summon the power.
Flying cows stay cool under pressure. At Stoltz, we do too. We design and manufacture precision cooling solutions that keep data centers running. Everything from AI to data in the cloud, all around the world. Headquartered right here in Frederick, we have over 500 employees who make us proud to be called one of the best places to work. As a leader in the data center industry, we're growing fast, and we want you on our team. Join the Stoltz team today to be a part of something bigger. Scan the QR code to apply.
Less than a minute to go before the start of the third quarter here at Woodsboro Bank Arena. A quick look at the halftime stats. The Cows shooting 60% and just 1 out of 3, 14 for 42, 33% for the Sharks. They're 5 out of 21 from 3.
And San Diego's really shown to be more of an outside team here. Half their shots have been from behind the arc. And their threes, they have not been falling this game. In the Capital game, they were able to shoot 50%. They were really able to get those to go down. But in this game, 5 for 21 on the evening, especially earlier on. They started out, I believe it was 0-10 from 0-7 from the arc. And since then, they just haven't been able to get going. Their offense has been stagnant, while the Cows have been able to sort of pull away to a 20-point lead going into the half.
For sure, and that turnover bugaboo that the Cows had in the first quarter, they cleaned up in the second. Let's take a look at some of the individual player leaders. Zion Smith officially at 13, along with Alani Moore, and then 12 for Evan Shepard. 5 rebounds for him. The Cows leading rebounder, 4 apiece for Makai Grant and Alani Moore. The league's leading assist man, Moore, with 3 helpers for the Cows. As we're ready to get back underway for the Cows, it will be Javon Adams, Alani Moore, Zach Thomas, Mustafa Traore, and Quentin Scott.
Yeah, Cows bringing back out the starters to open up this second half. They weren't able to open up the first half the hottest, but based off how the Cows offense has been doing, they're going to do great. Gredich driving up the court for the Sharks to open up this second half. The shot's good for Johnson. Then the Sharks are bringing out some of their bench players from the first half going in to start this second, hoping to find some sort of spark on offense.
Well, and you saw Gredich, unselfish play down at that end. He had an open layup maybe, kicked it out to the corner, and Johnson finished.
Travel on Scott there. He was really looking for that drive. You could see he was looking for the shot at first. Kind of pump faked it, drove to the net.
Not the start that the Cows wanted here in the second half. Luckily, they built that 20-point lead at halftime, so they've got a little breathing room to play with.
Johnson on Scott here, going for the 3-ball. Pure and one with a chance for the 4-point play for Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson was able to shoot that over the much larger Quentin Scott. Quentin is 6'7", Johnson just 6'2".
Looks like the Sharks have opened this half hot from the three. Some that, as we said, they really struggled on in the first half, but they've made their first two to potentially open up the second half on a 7-0 run, as we see there, with Johnson sinking the free throw. Moore driving it up the court for the Cows.
Yeah, it's a quick start. It's down to 13. If the Cows don't score and we see another bucket from San Diego, we might see Coach Preet call a quick timeout to regroup.
But Adams with the drive, and it's good.
Adams is big, quick, and long. He can get into the paint and finish.
Gredich working on Moore, hoping to continue this hot start to the second half for the Sharks.
Gwitty, nice drive by the big.
Foul on Thomas. With Gritty, he's seen as a more defensive guy, but he was really able to drive to the rack there, use his power to really drive in, force that contact, force the foul. And this is looking eerily similar to that rhythm game where the fouls really started to take a toll on the Cows in the second half.
This is 0 points and 3 rebounds for Gwitty. He'll be looking for that first point here.
Gritty with 1 of 2 here. Can't get the first.
San Diego able to get it down to 15 here. It would have been nice if they could have got both of those, and they get neither.
And Gwitty misses both. In a game like this, you got to sink those free throws. Takes it from a 15-point game to a 13, which is a lot more manageable.
Missed by Scott. Slow start here in the second half. He's got the turnover, the foul, and now a missed jumper, but Quentin can heat it up in a hurry.
Johnson with the mid-range, just short, but Gwitty's there with the putback. And Moore's back driving it up for the Cows.
In the first half, just 6 offensive rebounds for San Diego. And a defensive foul, Thomas draws it.
Calling it on Gwitty.
Gwitty now with 2. Zion Smith back in. He had such a huge second quarter for the Cows. We'll see. He's coming in for Quentin Scott, so maybe you let Scott go to the bench, catch a breath. And you have a guy who had a hot hand there in the first half. Let's see if getting him in the game sparks this offense.
Morgan, the offense started on the outside, coming off the inbound. Smith gets fouled on the layup attempt, and he's going to the line for 2.
Shepard got beat by Zion Smith and added insult to injury a little bit there by fouling Smith. But it was going to be an easy 2 if he didn't, so not really another option, and that's his third personal.
And with that foul, Smith, I still don't think he's missed a field goal all game. Let's hope he can make both free throws.
No announcer's jinx there. Thought you might give him an announcer's jinx on that one, but
should probably keep my mouth shut for the second one then. Smith, 2 for 2. Bring the Cows lead back to 15.
63-48. They're talking about something here. Not 100% sure what. I think maybe
Looked like Grant might have been trying to come in.
Coach Cheeks, I think, had a question about something. Whatever it was, he disagrees with what the officials ruled.
Frederick driving on Moore again. Giddy gets fouled yet again. They've really been forcing it to Giddy in the paint. And his presence there, he's been able to force fouls, force the switch. And he's back to the line, hoping to make his first free throw of the night.
Goody a lot more assertive here offensively in the second half. Another guy who's played in the basketball tournament, he played for Locked In Elite. Also,
Giddy 0 for 3 from the line in this second half. And hopefully he can try to get one on this next one.
Can't get that one either. Just a rough night.
Thomas going for the fast break. The drive blocked by Johnson. And the Sharks are coming right back. Frederick can't get the fast break lay, but he gets his own rebound. Kicks it out. And Shepard drills the 3.
All day out there for Shepard. He could draw a picture of the shot if he wanted to.
He might have been able to do some calculations. He's had more than enough time. And Traore can't find Thomas there.
Yeah, Traore, another turnover for the Cows.
It's a rough start to the second half for the Cows. The Sharks, they look like they're ready for a comeback right now.
Yeah, that first quarter bugaboo with turnovers rears its ugly head again here in the second. Another
Shepard can't get it to go there. He's testing to see if he still had the touch after that 3. And Thomas.
Yeah, I don't think they had everybody where they wanted them on that play, but Thomas bailed them out. I think Moore was trying to get that ball to Thomas, and Traore was in the way, so luckily he just caught it and sort of shovel passed it over to Thomas to get it where it was meant to go, but maybe not the best spacing.
Frederick driving on Moore and Traore, kicks it out to Shepard. The shot's pure. Shepard, that's his second straight made 3-pointer in a row. He has 6 in the second half.
Moore. Really haven't seen much scoring out of him. He had that great first quarter, but you don't need it if you got Zach Thomas.
Don't need it. Thomas, he's not been hot from 3, but he's been able to drive in, get some great layups in, especially in these past few minutes. Johnson taking the point for the Sharks. Driving in, senses a mismatch. The 3 rims out. He had the mismatch on Adams, and he went for the pull-up, but sadly was just barely, he couldn't get it to go.
Thomas.
For 3. He has been cold from beyond the arc. He's been able to make his shots from inside, but from outside, he hasn't had the greatest night tonight.
Yeah, he started out the season as one of the better shooters from beyond the arc, just hasn't been able to keep that going tonight.
And the Cows, Smith's been the only sub that they've made in the second half so far, as Moore is driving it up, leading the Cows offense. Traore kicks it out to Moore.
Bunch of subs waiting for the Cows at the table as Coach Preet.
5 on the shot clock. Moore with the fade away. Can't get it to go. Thomas with the rebound. But foul called on San. On San Diego. I thought that might have been a behind the back on Thomas there.
You get a replay on that, and you see Thomas there in a crowd, and there's a whistle. Well, we've gone to a break here, 67-56, 6:51 to go. We'll take the break with the teams and be back.
Where should we start first?
Summon the power.
Let's face it, highways are boring. Leave the traffic behind and go for a drive on Maryland's scenic byways in Frederick County. They'll take you where you want to go and make the journey just as memorable. Every turn invites you to slow down and discover something new. From captivating history to irresistible flavors to vibrant downtowns. Plan your trip today and take the road that tells a story.
Flying cows stay cool under pressure. At Stoltz, we do too. We design and manufacture precision cooling solutions that keep data centers running. Everything from AI to data in the cloud, all around the world. Headquartered right here in Frederick, we have over 500 employees who make us proud to be called one of the best places to work. As a leader in the data center industry, we're growing fast, and we want you on our team. Join the Stoltz team today to be a part of something bigger. Scan the QR code to apply.
And we are back with 6:51 to go in the third. The story of the second half so far has been San Diego clawing back. They had a 20-point deficit at half, but they've cut it down to 11. And it looks like all the momentum's going in their favor, Jeff.
Yeah, they came out of halftime shooting 14 of 42, which means they've gotten 6 out of 10 here to start the second half, including 4 out of 5 from beyond the arc, so that staunch perimeter defense for the Cows has bent a little bit here. We'll see if they can tighten that up. The Cows saving grace, they've had turnovers and they've had fouls, but San Diego just 7 out of 13 at the line. They haven't been able to capitalize. 3 turnovers in 5 minutes, though, for Frederick. Not what Coach Preet wanted coming out of halftime. I'm sure that was something they talked about during the timeout, was taking better care of the basketball.
Scott setting up. He's not been able to score the way he's wanted to. Roper for 3. The shot's pure. Cows coming out of the timeout. They were ready. They had that play drawn up. They knew exactly what they wanted to do there.
And Roper just wide open. And they needed that. That makes them 10 out of 23 from three-point range. Well over 40% for the Cows.
Johnson can't quite get the 3 to fall there. Grant bringing it up for the Cows. How often do you see that?
You know, the Cows, their bigs, again, they don't have, like, really a lot of true centers. But Adams and Grant can get that ball up the court if they need them to. Obviously not the first option, but it's a luxury for Coach Preet to have the bigs that can do that.
Yeah, and Grant picks up a 3rd on that illegal screen there. And coming out of the timeout, Cows made 3 subs. Coming on for them was Denmark Slay, Miles Roper, who just made that 3, and Makai Grant, who just had that foul. Frederick working the point. He's been doing that all second half, and he's been doing it great for the Sharks.
A bit of an air ball there, but the Sharks don't.
Johnson for 3. Gets it to go.
Don't want to be giving up those second chance opportunities, and San Diego makes Frederick pay on that one. It's back down to 11. I'll tell you what, Johnson's got 20 now. They got to find an answer for him.
Grant prevents the turnover. Scott in the corner. Can't get it to go. Grant with the offensive board.
And Grant's one of the younger guys on Frederick's roster. And during the exhibition, we had Tony Maslish, one of the owners for Frederick, and he just gushed about the athleticism that Grant has. And it's sort of, they're hoping maybe he becomes like Javon Adams. You know, he's that kind of raw athlete. And last year we had a chance to really just watch Javon blossom, and hopefully over the course of this season, you know, we just see Grant just continue to get better and better.
Yeah, Johnson was able to work a foul on that shot. He's shooting 2, drains the first. Some made free throws for the Sharks in this second half. I bet it's great to see. Free throws are one of the few things where you have basically absolute control over them. You got to make them when you can. And he makes both of them.
And that's 22 now for him. He's the game's high scorer, and he's been a big part of why they've gotten this down to 11. Frederick really just, I said it last trip down, and he scored again. They got to find an answer for Johnson.
Roper to Grant. Grant with the hook. Can't get it to fall.
And that was an example of just some of that youth there by Grant. Maybe not the shot they should have taken on that possession, but he'll learn from it.
Johnson, the game's leading scorer, trying to work on Roper here. Dishes it out. Frederick. Back to Johnson with the three. Can't get it to go. It's very different from how his shots have been falling this second half.
Slay. Good job to get into the paint there. Zion open again.
Smith with the three. I still don't think he's missed all night, has he?
6 for 6. That might actually be 7 for 7. Live stats usually take about 30 seconds to update.
What a game Smith is having, the new signing. The Cows have been waiting for him to break out, and he's shown to do so tonight. Johnson.
And a good defensive possession there by Frederick, forcing that 24-second violation. They tried to get it to Johnson late. He's had that hot hand, but Frederick stifled him. They couldn't even get a shot off.
It's been Johnson and Shepard have been the two top scorers for the Sharks tonight, and when they've been given the ball, they've been one to do it. Roper rims out with the three. He made, I believe, he made his last one. So that one, he was looking for that. He was looking to get hot, and he just wasn't able to there.
I think they're going to get Roper with a reach there.
Yeah, they were really going for that ball, him and Smith. With Smith, I wouldn't be going that if I were him. Oh, that was Denmark. Never mind.
Yeah, you could sort of see his hand get onto the wrist, I think, there on the replay.
Frederick makes the first. The Cows, as we saw in that Baltimore game, they have struggled with getting other teams to the line, getting those free throws, which ultimately those points rack up. Those points slowly go up. And especially in a game where the momentum's been going San Diego's way in this second half. You got to be prepared for a comeback. You can't be letting them chip away like that.
So the shot clock accidentally didn't reset there, so that's why we had that stoppage, and Denmark will just jog it up.
Roper swinging out to Smith. Smith to Scott.
You can see Grant trying to work, and they're getting help defense. He's getting fronted, and they're helping on the backside to prevent that lob.
Grant with another offensive foul there. That's, I believe, his fourth on the night. And he's in foul trouble now. If he wasn't already before, that's one of those scenarios where you got to take him out. You can't risk a player like him going out of the game in the third quarter, the start of the fourth.
Well, they bring Javon back in for him, and we mentioned it earlier, that's been one of Makai's problems is foul trouble. He doesn't play a ton of minutes, but he usually ends the game with 4 or 5 fouls off the bench.
Nutter working on Adams. He can't get the layup there, and Scott going for the fast break.
Great job by Adams guarding the smaller player.
Roper kicks it out to Smith. Smith for three. You cannot stop him. 7 for 7, 5 for 5 from three. He cannot miss tonight.
They've needed all 7 of those as they try to keep this lead where it is, and they've done a good job. They haven't let it get under 10. We got a replay here, and they couldn't find him when they got back on defense. San Diego just didn't know who had him or didn't know he got back, and Zion got himself open in the corner.
Beautiful to watch. He knows his shot. He knows his rhythm, and he's getting comfortable tonight.
Denmark got maybe a little greedy there, tried to get it back to him and didn't get enough on the lob.
Gredish finds the screen, drills to three. He's not letting Frederick pull away. Once Frederick thinks they're going on a run, Sharks are just right there to answer back.
See if Scott can get going here.
Kicks it out to Roper. Roper from the corner. Can't get it to go. Harrison with the rebound. Bring it out to Johnson. Working on Slay. This is out to Gredick. Smith guarding them.
Cal's got them under 10 again here on the shot clock. And good closeout by Roper.
Slay bringing up the court. He's giving it to Smith.
Roper wide open.
Finds Smith for the easy layup. 8 for 8. He is in his rhythm tonight.
So dangerous from the perimeter. They sort of overplayed, guarded him too tight, and he just went back door. And a great job there by Miles Roper to find him on that cut. What a great play. We'll take another look at it here. You see Zion gave it up. It's a little bit of a give and go.
And
Frederick just thought he was going to linger out there at the three-point line, and Zion lulled him to sleep and got into the paint for the easy two.
And I don't blame Gredick. He's been drilling those threes all night. He's 5 for 5. As I was saying before, some people can't go 5 for 5 in practice. You're in a game here. You find your rhythm, catch and shoot off the dribble. Smith, he's just been making everything.
Well, he was off to a little bit of a slow start offensively. He had a good stretch against New York. But for the season, he was just shooting 32% overall and only 27% from three-point range. But again, you'd seen the stretch against New York where you're like, it's there. He's just got to put it together over a whole game. And a week later, here we are, and he's putting it together. And hopefully this is a sign of things to come. I mean, certainly you can't expect 8 for 8 and 5 for 5. But, you know, if he can give another spark as a scoring guard, especially until Ron Scott comes back, they need another guard who can help fill it up.
Slay picking up Gredick full court, but Gredick able to get the drive, but the layup can't go. Scott with the rebound, bringing it to Adams on the fast break. Euro step with the slam. Javon Adams bringing the difference to 16.
Adams and Grant, the two tallest guys there, so good at running the floor for the Cavs.
Harrison just blows by Adams there. Got the mismatch. He's just too quick.
I think that was actually Nutter.
I was Nutter?
See if we can get Quentin Scott going. If he can get going.
Scott and Adams, the Cows' usual scorers, they haven't been going as much. They've been sharing the rock, and Smith, I'm sure they're not complaining. He's making his shots. You love to see a teammate do that. Scott gets the ball snatched behind the back. Some razzle-dazzle.
Yeah, some good defense, but they have some bad luck where the loose ball just finds its way to the Sharks. And then they're able to reverse course and get an easy two.
Third, Smith going into the end. Oh, he finally misses one, but he gets it back. Can't get it off before the buzzer. Smith isn't perfect anymore, but he is still having a heck of a game.
Get him out of the game.
Yeah. He's gone cold. Can't make a shot anymore.
And there we get another look at that last bucket by the Sharks.
That was a beautiful pass by Nutter there. Went for the layup, that 3-on-2, 2-on-1. You practice it ever since you're in like rec in elementary school. So they know exactly what they're doing in a scenario like that. And Nutter was able to put, like I said, a little bit of razzle-dazzle on it behind the back for the wide open layup for Harrison.
Well, we've got the nonprofit of the game getting their check for $562. And tonight's nonprofit of the game is the United Way of Frederick County. Frederick always does a great job recognizing one of those local nonprofits, and they do that check presentation between the third and fourth quarter. I thought about going to commercial maybe, but we can't. So I got to ask you, Finn, what's your opinion? How do you like Gene Frankel? You a fan?
I think I forgot.
Think you forgot?
I think I forgot.
Okay.
You know, he's a Will Ferrell impersonator, right?
Yes.
I'm sure Will Ferrell he's had his time with San Diego.
He has.
I don't.
San Diego.
I've
founded by the Germans.
San Diego.
In 1903.
There's some choice words that he's had for San Diego that I can't exactly repeat myself.
Let's not get taken off the air.
The only feeling I got from the looks of it is a cowbell feeling.
Got a fever, the only prescription is more cowbell.
I'm sure Tim doesn't miss that fever.
Tim is probably feeling nice and cool right now. No fever at all.
He has a fever and he does not want to prescribe. And he does not want the cowbells right now.
That is not what he wants when he has a fever. That is for sure. His main thing is he thinks it's not imitatable that Will Ferrell,
See, I
just
feel
did
like
such a good job that it can't be duplicated.
That's what Will Ferrell loves. He's just comedic guy. I'm sure with the impersonators, he wouldn't want someone to be exactly like him. He'd want someone to be like him, messing around a bunch. And here he comes right behind us, finishing up his shift, running out the door. He's put on a heck of a performance tonight. What was that? 2 minutes, triple-double with about, I'd say, 100 yards ran. Hit the cowbell about 200 times. That's a triple-triple right there.
He got his steps in, that's for sure. He gets his steps in. I hope he's got, an Apple Watch or a Garmin or something to track that on game days, because he's definitely getting to that step goal. He's doing a lot of 94.50 while he's doing that. See what I did there, Noah?
For those who don't know,
Noah wasn't listening. I thought I had a good little pull back to the league name.
For those who don't know, with the 94-50 league, it's based off the dimensions of the basketball court. 94 feet long, 50 feet wide.
Ooh, thought Slay might pull the trigger there.
Scott pulls the trigger, though. Can't quite fall. Rebound by Johnson. Johnson trying to pull a fast break. Slay keeps him from doing that, though. Forces them into half-court offense. And Frederick resetting it. Working on Scott. Step back. Harrison pulls the trigger but can't have it land from the corner. And Scott on the fast break. Passes it out to Slay.
Good job by Scott to hold things up.
Adams with the board out to Roper.
And the Cows have a 15-point lead, so if they get out in transition,
Scott's wide open for three. He's got it to go. Scott's really been finding himself in these past few minutes. And the Cows are hoping that they can finally pull away from a San Diego team that's been biting at their ankles the whole third quarter.
Look at Adams now on Johnson. Maybe that's how they stop him. He still gets it off.
Johnson trying to work that mismatch there with the step back. And Smith's fouled in transition. Oh, and after the foul, he still makes it. He really can't miss today.
Unfortunately, that one doesn't count. So Gwitty back in.
And Smith right in front of the broadcast area right now. I feel like I can make a shot right now. And Scott pulling the trigger again. Can't quite get 2 for 2. Smith almost gets the offensive rebound. He's been all over the place tonight. He's been crashing the boards. He's been playing like a whole new person. His confidence is off the charts. He's been throwing himself anywhere and everywhere. Just being ready to do whatever he wants, really.
Cows still shooting 55% in this one. They've cooled off a little bit here in the second half.
Frederick works off the screen, but he can't get it to go. And Nutter with the reverse layup there off the offensive board. One of the areas where the Cows have struggled all season. And Slay driving it up.
Slay last year didn't get a lot of minutes. He's been a bigger part of the rotation. Not sure if it's just because of Ron Scott being out.
Slay draws a foul there. It's going to the line for 2.
It's been good to see Slay get a chance to play some bigger minutes here early this season. Again, not sure when Ron Scott finds his way back into the lineup from the injury he's been dealing with, if Slay's minutes will still be there. But, he's a guy, again, they talk about him like he's another coach on the court. He's the first guy to volunteer when there's any community work. He's just a good guy, and so you root for him, and it's good to see him getting in there, getting some quality minutes, and doing something with them.
Slay's like the type of point guard, the true point guard that you want on and off the court. He's a real leader. He's a real, like you said, involved in the community, so that shows his leadership. But at the same time, on the court, he's that guy who's hustling everywhere. As you saw there, forcing the turnover. He's that true point guard who he might not put up stats. He might not score all the points in the world, but boy, he makes an impact, and you can see it.
He'll get to inbound this one here. Let's see. It's been a while since a turnover, but yeah, in the second half, those have come back a little bit. And that's really been when San Diego's been able to dive into Frederick's lead, is when they can turn Frederick over. And when Frederick has these long stretches of a few minutes that they just had without one, that's when they stretch the lead back out.
Yeah, and Guidi back to the line. He's 0 for 4 on the night, hoping to finally capitalize. And he does there, 1 for 5. Guidi is finally able to get those free throws down. Him, with his presence, with his size in the paint, he's the person you want making free throws, because when you give the ball to him, the other team's basically forced to foul. He's so physical, where when he goes up, you're not snatching the ball from his hands.
Only 4 points in this one, but you feel like he's played a bigger role for the Sharks.
Adams fumbles it a bit, back up to Slay at the point. Slay driving in, fade away, can't quite get it to go. Rebound to Shepard. Shepard now driving up the court.
Long
Stop
two.
3, doesn't go.
It's actually a long 2.
There's long 2 there. Smith driving and 1. Zion Smith, he doesn't care how big the person he's driving is on. He's going to go in for the contact, get the layup and the foul, with the chance for a 3-point play here to add on to his already amazing night.
I mean, we got the replay here. You just see him go end to end. San Diego, a couple of their guys didn't turn around on defense, and he was able to just sort of sneak down the court, and by the time they've heard the ball coming down the court, it was just too late. He gets into the paint there.
Slay gets the board and the layup,
Denmark
turning a 3-point play into a 4-point play, as the Cows have a great possession there. And Shepard driving up to hopefully take away some of that momentum.
Witty, strong in the paint.
Guidi with the put-back slam with authority, but could it be a too little too late, as the Cows still have an 18-point lead. And Smith has cooled down a bit, but he's still making
He missed a shot. He's still hot. He just missed one.
Where's the subs? A foul on the floor there for the Cows. Shepard to inbound for the Sharks. Gets it clean to Gredick. And Slay on him. Great shot there. That is clean by Gredick. Great defense there by Slay as well, but as they always say, great offense always beats great defense.
Well, we've got about 8 minutes left, and the Cows have been able to keep this lead in the teens.
And Slay with the 3, we don't see a lot from him, but he gets the offensive rebound to Adams. Traore is blocked. On the fast break, that's Nutter with the layup.
Yeah, it turned into a little bit of a track meet and a little bit of slop there as we have a whistle, but
an injured
here. Player.
The Sharks, they're going on a little run here. They were down by, I believe it was 20. They've gone on a little 6-0 run, trying to sneak some momentum in before the game gets completely out of reach too late.
Yeah, and Zion Smith, I mean, we've talked a lot about every shot he's hit, but he's up to 25 now. And I'll tell you what, Quentin Scott, it doesn't feel like he's having a great game, but he's got 16 and he's 4 of 10 from 3.
Scott's doing what he has to out there. It's like when someone's on, someone's going to be off. It's not even off. If someone scores 25 points, you're obviously not going to have another person score that many points unless your offense is really going on fire.
There is room usually in the Frederick offense. You know, Quentin and Javon both average 20 or more a game. I know Javon's at like 19 and change, but we'll call it 20. So there is room for a second and sometimes a third scorer in this offense. And tonight it's been Zion. As Javon tries to work his way back in. The scoring hasn't necessarily been there, but he's got 10 boards and 8 assists. One thing we really haven't talked a lot about tonight, Finn, is Javon's ability to pass the ball.
Javon is an amazing all-around player. And when you think of him, you think of just that rebounding points. He's averaging 20 and 10. But as we saw in that exhibition game, he can pass the ball when he wants to. As Shepard gets fouled by Adams there and goes to the line for 2.
He had a triple-double last year in his co-MVP season. We'll see a replay here of this last sequence.
It's a good drive there. The Sharks this second half, they've really been able to get those drives in, force the fouls.
So Javon Adams with a technical. You don't like to see that. You know, it's a 14-point game. You don't want to just give them a free point, and then there's more free throws. This could, could end up being a 3-point play or a 4-point play for them now.
Vega can't hit the tech free throws there.
And so Frederick draws a little bit of a stroke of luck there. Because that just, Javon, I'm sure he just said the wrong thing there.
But Adams, he's always been a cool-headed guy. I feel like when you watch him play on the court, he always has kind of a nonchalant playing style. So to see him go off like that, I think the fact that he hasn't had the greatest night scoring could say numbers to that. But he's had an amazing performance otherwise. Like you said, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. No one would complain about that. I could score 0 points, and that would still be an extremely effective game.
Yeah, the foul that he got called on him there wasn't a lot of contact, and so I'm sure he just didn't choose his words as wisely as he often does to argue a call and maybe let something slip, and Scott wasn't having it.
For a 3, we just mentioned how he wasn't scoring as much, but he's racking up those points. He's averaging 24 a game. An off night for him scoring is different than an off night for someone else. As he has, 19?
Yeah, Moore there with a steal. Ooh, Zion, they closed out just a little too fast. Harrison all over the place.
Zion, he's still hot. Zion Smith, he is still on fire as he drills a 3. He's up to 28. What a night he is having.
San Diego just had an awful time getting set on defense down there. And Josh Harrison was trying to guard everybody. He just couldn't guard everybody.
And Trey Orr making his presence known in the paint, forcing the miss there from Harrison. And coming in for the Sharks is Johnson, their current leading scorer. I believe he's still at 22.
That he is. And it is good to see, barring something unforeseen here down the stretch, Frederick has rebounded from their 2 losses with some pretty good offensive performances, because a key to those losses has been Baltimore stopping Frederick's offense. So to see them rebound with 2 100-point outings after each of those losses it's good to see for Coach Preet and the Cows, because you can see that they talk about what needs to be done and they make the necessary corrections. We'll tell you what, we're in a timeout. Let's take it with them.
Hi, I'm Dr. Amir Rashidian, a chiropractor, a fellow with the American Institute of Stress. With not just 1, but 2 convenient locations and a team of highly specialized doctors, our team at Mid-Atlantic Chiropractic Centers is equipped with the knowledge and expertise to address a wide range of conditions, whether it's chronic back pain, neck pain, headaches, or stress-related ailments.
Mid-Atlantic Chiropractic Centers, where compassion meets expertise and your well-being comes first. Call us today and start your journey to a pain-free, stress-free life.
Before we get back here, as we watch the tug of war at midcourt, we want to thank the great sponsors that help make Flying Cows basketball possible. Saputo, Plumondon Hospitality, Visit Frederick, Woodsboro Bank, Holistic Health Associates 24/7 Dance Studio, Warren Psychotherapy, Fourth Dimension, the Frederick Office of Economic Development, Yellow Springs Dental. Tonight's game sponsor, Thrivent, Warehouse Cinemas, Roy Rogers, Allied Milk, Rowan Digital, and Stulls.
You know, the Cows, they've had a few scares. San Diego's gone on a few, like 5 or 6 point runs, just bringing the game within 15 points to kind of keep the Cows on edge. But the Cows, they've been able to drill these threes, just separate themselves. And in what seemed like a lot closer of a game than it looks like right now on the scoreboard, the Cows have been able to pull away in these last few minutes.
Yeah, the Cows, got down to 11 a couple of times, and every time the Cows just found just enough until Zion really got rolling there and was able to help them stretch it back out to 20. It stands at 19 right now.
Zion, speaking of Smith, Zion with the ball right there. And he banks it in. What a night he's having. He can make it from the three. He can make layups. He can make it from the mid-range, make it from the post. You just can't stop him tonight.
Yeah, and the rest of the Cows know it. You see guys like Zach Thomas and Javon Adams and Quentin Scott, Alani Moore, they're looking now for Zion Smith because they know it's kind of his night tonight.
It is his night. And Shepard driving on Thomas draws the foul. Not enough for a bonus, but it will be for an inbound.
Yeah, foul on the floor, not during a shot.
It's Thomas's 5th foul. This is his 2nd straight game in foul trouble. He fouled out with 6 against the Rhythm on Tuesday, and now he's picked up 5.
Well, you were talking a little bit in the first half about how he gets a lot of blocked shots, and a lot of those shot blockers, if you don't get the block, you get the shooter sometimes, and so they can run hot and cold where they're either getting blocked shots or they're fouling guys. And tonight for Zach, unfortunately, it's been a little bit more of the latter.
Yeah, and he's still been able to put up 9 points. A very solid performance there from Thomas.
9 points, 3 boards, couple assists.
Thomas is one of those guys where he'll make his threes. He can make himself known. But at the same time, he'll drive in the paint. He'll make those layups. He'll make the points that you'll forget. But in the end, the points, they're still a part of the team, sir. They're still on the board. They make a huge difference.
Getting down here to the end of the shot clock.
Giddy with the rebound. Great defense there by him. Thomas can't quite get the steal. And Harrison gets the layup for the Sharks there, bringing it to 17. And Scott almost with the fast break 3. Keeping Giddy out of the paint. Traore with the mismatch. He can't get the dunk, but he gets his rebound. And he forces the foul on Shepard. He's going to the line for 2.
He had just completely sealed off his man when he first got it. And I think he was a little further under the basket than he realized. So when he jumped straight up, he kind of jumped into the bottom of the rim almost instead of having room to throw it down.
Once Giddy left the paint, Traore, he walked in there knowing that there's no one on this team who can outstrength me, who can outbody me. So he just went in knowing that he can just throw people around, and he did. He couldn't get the shot. Made the first free throw there, but he's hopefully able to take advantage of this and get the Cows 2 points nonetheless.
And Mustafa's a guy, he's usually not the leading scorer. He's honestly even sometimes not the leading rebounder in the game, but he's usually one. Gwitty.
Gwitty, you don't want to see him in the paint. He's rolling down there, 6'8", 230. He's the last person you want to see. It's very hard to contest a dunk like that.
I was talking about Mustafa there.
Oh, Scott! 4-3. The crossover step back on Shepard to bring the deficit back to 20. And it looks like the Cows have finally pulled away with this one. That might have been the dagger there.
But yeah, just Traore always like that 3rd or 4th guy. He's so reliable for Frederick.
Nutter with the corner 3 there. And with the Sharks in the second half, they've been a lot better from three. They've been able to shoot it compared to the first half where it looked like they couldn't make one to really save their lives.
7 for 13 in the second half.
And Guidy able to make his presence known. I think he got a hand on that Scott layup. And he has really been all over the place, Guidy, in the second half. We didn't see a bunch of them in the first, but in the second, he's really started driving, posting up, knowing that these guys aren't physical enough for him. And he's been able to draw free throws, get some emphatic dunks in there.
Yeah, Guidy has really asserted himself a lot more here in the second half. He was a big part of when they cut into that lead.
And Johnson's been on 22 for a while there. He finally gets a layup in to bring him to 24. He's having a pretty good night himself, but Smith has been the star. And Smith gets fouled there. That was Harrison who pushed him a bit in the back. Moore found him on the backdoor cut, but Harrison wasn't going to let him get an easy layup there.
Zion at the line again. Man, what a huge game out of him. Cal's still shooting 55% in the game. They're 17 of 38 from three-point range. They've just been over 40% the whole game. 17 threes.
I think
that's a pretty big number.
As he's going for these free throws, we got to quiet up because he missed that first one. You were talking him up a bit. You were mentioning that announcer's jinx earlier.
I was talking about threes, though, not free throws.
Oh, he made that second one. We stopped talking about him.
We were still talking about him because we were talking about not talking about him.
All right, 16 points, Cows 108, Sharks 92. And a great defensive play there by Moore. It's great to see him have those defensive plays, especially coming off of Baltimore where their guards are so big. They've been bullying him on that side of the ball. It's great to see him be able to be a defensive presence in this game so far.
Oh, playing free safety.
Both sides of the ball, gets the steal, passes it to Litton for three. Can't get it to go. But Smith, he's showing off his athleticism. Did you see that steal?
Litton there has the rebound go to Grant. He tries to get in there for the rebound. We get a timeout by Coach Preet. Or no, actually. I guess it is a 30-second timeout, although I don't know, the official is there at the scoreboard doing something. So I'm not sure what he's... I think the ref has become a scoreboard operator.
I believe it was the fouls because on the Cows are listed at 4 fouls on the score clock right now, but on the floor foul, they ended up going to the line. So it might be an issue with that on the score clock.
Not sure. He's sort of fiddling with the buttons on it himself. Not sure what we're...
Not sure he knows how to work it, but...
he might. Yeah. Some of these guys, days they're not reffing, they might be doing a scoreboard somewhere. So Eric Peag, Daniel Elliott, and Andrew Ross have been our officials tonight.
Eric Peag, the one doing some edits on the scoreboard. We got a little extra note when we asked the refs to write their names on our sheet. They said he has amazing hair. Looks like he's missing some in the back. I think a trip to Turkey might be great for him.
Careful. You won't always be like 18. Not sure what your genetics are, but a lot of guys, as they get older, it starts going in those spots.
Hope that's not our end out. You have some beautiful hair. Do you have some beautiful hair here, Jeff?
I'm fortunate to have good genes.
As a 30-second timeout comes to an end, the Cows, they've taken the majority of their starters out. I think they're leaving Moore in, and of course they're leaving Smith in. He's hot. If the Sharks ever think they can get a comeback, just throw it to Smith, let him shoot. And chances are it's going in the net.
Yeah, and Alani Moore, he's still stuck at 13 points. He hasn't scored since, I think, maybe early in the second period. But, you know, when you have a couple of these other guys going, like Zion Smith and a few of the other bench guys who've just found a couple of shots here and there, they haven't really had a need, and he's okay with that. He's a point guard.
Not the best pass there by Grant. Shepard for the fast break, blocked by Litton. But Nutter's there for the layup. As San Diego has brought this game within 14. It's March. You never want to say never. And blocked by Julio. What a defensive game he's been having in this fourth quarter. He had a steal last possession, blocked this possession, and he's had a few dunks, had a few blocks. He's been doing a great job on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Roper there kind of drove into a double team. Didn't really get past his guy, and then obviously he had that brick wall and Gwitty back there waiting for him. He sort of dribbled himself into a double team. Maybe would have been better served looking for a teammate on that drive. If two guys are on you, there's nobody on somebody else.
And Johnson at the line made the first. Going for the second to bring this within 12.
Yeah, don't look now, but it's a 12-point game.
Like I said, it's March. Anything can happen here. They're going for the full court press, trying to trap them, force any turnovers they can with a team that has struggled with turnovers. But Grant driving in, gets the layup, hoping to stop this San Diego run. San Diego coach there, he's calling for a travel. He's been doing that decent bit throughout the game.
Good extra pass on that possession by Linton. He was open for a three if he wanted it, but got it to Grant, which, if nothing else, runs 5 extra seconds, and, Grant able to drive that baseline. We'll go to him again.
Grant back there going for the midi. Can't get it to fall. Cows all over them on the rebound, but San Diego able to keep it. Johnson going for the drive. Blocked by Litton, his second of the game. But Litton fouls him on that second shot.
That was a little late.
It was a little late.
There was a rebound and another shot up in the air by the time they blew that one.
Litton's not exactly who you think is a defensive guy. They use him a lot on the outside on offense, but he's blocking these shots. I'd love to see it out of him, the hood man himself.
Yeah, D3 guy, and you look at him, he's very slight of build. He's a lanky, skinny guy. And honestly, he was skinnier when he got to Hood 5 years ago, but he's filled out a little bit. But he was never afraid to mix it up. Even when he was a freshman and you thought a strong breeze might knock him over, he was never afraid to get into that paint or on defense mix it up. He was always, a tough kid who was willing to do that dirty work, try to get in there for some blocks, get in there after the ball.
And Cal's bringing in some starters. Scott and Adams coming back in.
Yeah, it's down to 9.
It's down to 9, single digits. It's more. Anything can happen here. Bring it back to Moore. He tiptoes his way along the midline. And he's working Shepard going in.
Well, they've run it down to
the
5.
double.
Nice extra pass.
Gets it in as the shot clock expires, bringing it back to 11. Grant's been having his way around the rim in this fourth quarter.
Mackay played with fire there with that pump fake with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
And an offense, or I think that's just a turnover.
Yeah, I think they just lost it out of
30
bounds.
seconds left.
And
that should be it.
Grant's last bucket and now a turnover is going to make it hard.
Yeah, they're going for the last chance full court trap. I doubt they'll start fouling.
Adams.
The Cows. Smith. He keeps scoring. It doesn't matter if the game's over. He's at 33.
That's, if not that, that's no knock against Zion, but just the role he played in the first couple games, scoring wasn't something he'd been asked to do much of. And just, I wouldn't have guessed we'd come in here tonight and see him take 14 shots.
Yeah.
He makes 12 of them. He hits 6 threes. 33 points for Zion Smith.
I'm not good with math, but when you look at true shooting percentage, when it calculates 3 points as well, he's shooting well over 100% in that category. And this is, when you watch a game like this, there's a difference between a high-scoring night, something you'd usually see out of maybe someone like Kobe in the 2010s, where he'd have a bunch of shots, score a bunch of points. He's scoring 33 on 14 shots. How often do you see that?
Yeah, I usually use like a Harden for that example. And
Yeah.
He's going to find 30 points at the end of the night, but it might take him 45 shots.
Harden's a bit more with the free throws.
He
Smith
does
only
get
at
to the
5. But overall, a great game from the Cows. A breakout game from Zion Smith. I think he was coming off the bench too for this. How often do you see 33 points coming off the bench, man?
Yeah, especially when a couple other guys maybe got off to slow starts in the game. That performance in the second, and then they carried it off, obviously, much more into the second half. He kind of helped them pull away in the second quarter and just helped them weather the storm at times there in the second half.
And with Smith, he kind of overshadowed Scott, who still had a great performance. 50% from 3, 6 for 12, 8 for 17 from the field, 22 points, even on what many people don't consider his best scoring night.
Well, and we're joined now by Flying Cows head coach Dan Preet. And I think the first thing we're going to ask you about has to be obvious. Zion Smith. How about that night tonight?
Yeah, he really shot the ball. He really shot the ball well tonight, and I thought he did a real good job moving without the ball to find the space.
He was part of a pretty good three-point attack tonight. The Cows 17 of 39, 44% as a team. That really kind of helped the offense weather that a couple of those mini runs where they pushed it to 11.
Yeah, I mean, we shot some threes tonight. I thought we got real lazy with shooting too many threes and not attacking as much because I think we got a little complacent. But, we made enough to win.
What were your thoughts on Adams? He took a lot more of kind of a facilitator role in this game. He's used to scoring about 20 a game, 10 rebounds. He kept those 10 rebounds, but it was looking more like the exhibition where he was also dishing the ball out, getting 8 assists as well.
Yeah, he actually might be the best passer we have. He sees the floor so well. He facilitates, and he's one of those kids that I think sees a play ahead. And, his hands are fantastic.
And correction, that was 10 assists from Adams. He had a double-double with rebounds and assists. That's not the double-double you see out of him usually, but as a coach, I'm sure it's lovely to see that a player who usually gets his contributions through scoring and rebounding, finding it through that playmaking ability, where he's able to kind of run the point in a way despite usually being played as a 5 or a 4.
Yeah, I think he's, everything he does is incredibly efficient. In some of the other games where he scored a lot, he did it off a few shot attempts. So, he's just an incredibly efficient young man with the basketball in his hand, and, every day he gets a little better.
Yeah, and going into the next game against Capital, they're currently first in 94-50, going on the road to them. How are you preparing for that game right now?
Well, I think tonight might have been one of those nights also where we looked ahead to tomorrow and, had to fight probably a little harder than we needed to. I thought San Diego actually shot the ball well and did some really good things. But I do think our guys were looking forward to tomorrow probably a little too much.
Well, that's a big one tomorrow, Coach. We know you want to get into the locker room, talk to the guys. Thanks for joining us. Great win and good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, Coach Preet.
Any final thoughts, Finn?
That was a great game from the Cows, in my opinion. After a game against Baltimore where they only scored 81, being able to come out here, dominate on the offensive side of the board, potentially even a new star we're seeing in Zion Smith. I think we're all hoping this isn't just a one-game show. I think we're all hoping he continues. Maybe if it's not 33, but maybe if it's like consistently in the teens, 20s, and especially with this efficiency that he shot it with, hoping that he continue that and make a huge impact for the Cows.
For sure. They've awaited the return of Ron Scott. That should be coming soon. But just every extra guy you have who can help you on offense, in those two losses, that's kind of been where they've sputtered a little bit. It seems to be the style that Baltimore favors is that 90s style. Keep it in the 80s.
Yeah.
But, nevertheless, Frederick that's kind of uncharted territory. Normally in other years we've maybe seen Frederick average well over 100.
Yeah, and I feel
Baltimore's been able to hold them down.
I feel like we saw a big switch in the second half. We mentioned in the pregame how San Diego was going to go for more of the half-court slow offense while the Cows were going for the fast break. I feel like in that first half with San Diego, when they really weren't scoring the ball well, they were trying to go fast break, and that's how they scored their points. But in the second half, they were able to switch from that fast break to that half-court offense, and that's when they were really able to close the game out, bring it within even like single digits at some point. And the Cows, they did the opposite. In the start, they were running that half-court offense, and then once they switched that fast break, that's when Smith really started going off. And as a team, they really started scoring more efficiently.
Yeah, for sure. And in addition to Smith's 33, we had 22 from Scott, 15 from Grant, 13 from Moore. On the other side of the ledger, Bonner Johnson off the bench. Two bench guys leading the way, one for each team. 28. He did his best to try to keep up with Zion. But really by the time the fourth quarter rolled around, he was kind of quiet. He did a lot of damage in the third.
Yeah, with Johnson, he had the points, but not the efficiency of Smith. He still went 8 for 22, 3 for 11 from 3. He was scoring points, but it's one of those performances where you're happy with the points, but you might not be as happy as what was thrown away by trying to get more of those points.
Shepard with 23, Gredick with 15, and Harrison off the bench with 10. Those are your scoring leaders for tonight. We thank you for joining us. Cows back in action on the road tomorrow at Capitol. First place team in the league in the 94x50. Good night from Woodsboro Bank Arena for Finn Hines. I'm Jeff Goyen. Thank you to the entire broadcast team.